Состояние трансляции, отлично. Конечно, отлично, отлично, пиздец, отлично. Лагает. Давай сейчас название говорю. Как тебе завершить-то, ёбаный в рот? Блядь.
Тихо. Не пугай.
Похуй. В эфире, блядь, как? Как нахуй завершить, блядь, почему их две? Вот это он завершит нахуй. зайти, блядь, что должно завершиться. отлично. Отлично, блядь.
Хорош.
Я вообще не знаю, тебя видно, нет?
Все равно.
Ходим дальше, закончим.
Ты припишешь издевательство на животное.
Держи ее, значит. Сиди, держи ее. Бля.
Терпи.
Сиди, держи ее.
Тяжело, да?
Нет, она не тяжелая, держи ее, чтобы она не проходит. Кто на меня пописать? Писаешь?
Это был шут.
Ножка. Ножка. Так, это мы говорили.
We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops, you here to fuck with us?
Huh?
Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Maybe you should ask them the questions, like, why we're not allowed. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scab.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the... We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gate. Main gate's locked, and I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer, or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategic... I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fuck...
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They... Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup, open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
We are not picking a side.
Pity. Let us work!
Scab?
What did he just call you? Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that fucking kid.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop, Scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop... Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
Nobody betrays your degeneracy. Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, I'm Sandwich. You are not in danger. Because what is this androgynous display of sexuality? Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own... Stop it! You are embarrassed. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger...
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to... You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. Yes, Al-Ghul. Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison. A parasite.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and the Rolam Al-Ghul have... Good. There is a frit nearby. Congratulate yourself with another drink.
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done begging for help, attempting to pass fear for cooperation. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic. You dominated lesser cultures like the deformed Hemians and the... You will be super...
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
That is right. You should leave the stage or bring your troops to the Seminal. The walls will be lined with bottles.
This is your chance. He's talking. Rip into him with a punch. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive. Remember? Communicate. How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Say it.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple.
The words to the song have...
Your hand twists in his grip, and the pain...
Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further. Racists are generally not very good examples. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken... You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizo... It is impossible. This leads me to conclude your racial...
He's right there.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't force us into situations where I may have to shoot random civilians. I'm not even sure.
The lieutenant groans. That's right. You should.
Welcome to Rivachol. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Rivachol divided, making it
Oh, come on, man. I just said, well...
I know exactly what you meant. But you see, I'm an officer.
Silence. The air between them becomes... Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a cute...
The lieutenant exhales and
Whatever you say, officers. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock worker... The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. Apples. Yeah, apples.
He's given you the...
It's not the...
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
I'm not just... People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? This concerns you, policeman, so you...
Oh?
Go right ahead.
Lieutenant gets not a lot of moral fight.
I have René. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance of this fine? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really. No, officer.
Then help them, you wimp.
I wish I could.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be...
I'm not.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of union prick he can't...
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Everard Claire. Everyone.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history.
The old soldier. Mum.
Let's try not to get...
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with little things. Everard. Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a...
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I hate this socialist rabble. But he...
Writing work mostly. Oh, nothing official.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly...
No, thank you.
We're still waiting for a reply. What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't...
Now. No need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best.
The best, huh? This isn't even a bull. But fine. I guess you did attempt...
Здание, которое
Пожалуйста.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the Arth. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the coalition. Unfortunately for you, but I am derailing us. You wanted to know about... I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago. After that awful... Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partial.
But the strike began in...
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens, no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator. There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. Every worker, a member of the board. Then you might also like their other slogan, Demand Democracy. Personally, I agree. It lacks the pizzazzo of... It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines Group makes a decision about what, just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their open now. People are getting lynched.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me...
This checks out.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, if they were organised by Wild Pines or its affiliates?
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Everard Clare is a man of the... of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like... It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. With the Débardeurs Union, organised labour at its best, as they say.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing, and your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you? Of course, officer. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter... Indeed. The company suspects the point of the presentation is...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just...
Of course. How else can I help? Of course, Detective.
Hey, yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. So, what about all that communism you've promised? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pockets. Literally murder, funky style, very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.